What's up, my support fibro friends? How are you? It's an early morning for me. Happy Monday. I have a very important topic to discuss with you. So, doing this live because it's super important for gut health. You hear me all the time talk about gut health, brain health, and its connection. So, I definitely don't want you to miss out on this. If you're tuning in live, please say hello, post an emoji, and even if you're watching replay afterwards, post your comments and share the discussion because it's going to be a fun one. So I am Melissa Toller. I am the executive director of the Support Fibromyalgia Network. I am also a board certified functional medicine health coach and quite a nerd, which I've learned a lot from some of my mentors when it comes to tracking your poop. So that's why this is such an important discussion, and we're going to dial it in today. We're going to be talking about tracking your bowel movements. I know, it might be too early for that. I'm definitely a fun one to have at the parties. I know my family thinks I am quite boring, but when it comes to the science and bringing things in, I have quite a lot of it to say. So I'm going to have fun with this. And please enjoy the discussion with me as well. Chime in because we're breaking any stigmas when it comes to talking about tracking your bowel movements, talking about your poop and stool health with your providers. So we'll dial it in. Let's begin our journey with tracking the bowel movements. So, what I want to emphasize here is your food takes a journey through your digestive tract, and the bowel movement is its last stop. It's what's left after your digestive system absorbs all the nutrients and the fluid from your food and drinks. So, it's an important piece also for detoxification. Observing the shape, texture, size, smell, frequency, and even color of your poop can help understand overall digestive health. And I've learned quite a bit when it comes to overall digestive health. I know we say gut health, but what we really need to emphasize is digestive health, as I lost my good buddy, the gallbladder, in May. Over time, you may uncover other chronic problems such as IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which is irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, colitis, celiac disease, and even colon cancer. Now, again, is like, when it comes to all of this, you might be thinking, is she really, really serious when it comes to talking about um, our bowel movements? And yes, I am very, very serious when it comes to talking about this. And again, it's something that I think we have to get used to having a discussion about because it's important we relay this information to our providers as much and as early as we can. So don't discount it, and we'll talk about taking notes when it comes like this. But this is usually the reaction I get. I have a lot of fun talking about digestive health as a health coach, but when I start talking about tracking your bowel movements and making notes of it, just taking a peek in the toilet, these are usually reactions I get. And what I want to do though is remind everyone, and just a reminder is, as a child, um, why did this change, right? We have happy babies. And if you're a parent, a fibro parent, you know that you're always looking at your baby's poop health and making sure that they poop regularly. You notice how it is, and you have a happy baby when they actually poop as opposed to being constipated. So we have some happy babies here. So why did it change moving forward as an adult? And why did this happen? So that's why we're bringing it back to the conversation and make sure you're aware, even as an adult, there's an important piece to this, and relaying it to your providers and thinking about its connection with food, with other factors like stress and sleep is also important. Now, when it comes to why I got so invested in this topic was because of my own personal journey. Now, I have a sign in my room that's a Snoopy sign carrying his bowl that says, I have a very crabby stomach. So, this is what I'm using to share my own personal journey with my stomach issues because they were even more debilitating and anxiety provoking than potentially my chronic pain when I look back at it. I could hide my chronic pain and fatigue from others, but what I couldn't hide was my digestive issues that kept coming up. I was running to the bathroom. I was afraid to eat. So sometimes I would go to lunches with people and I wouldn't eat because I was so afraid my stomach would get upset. I was in the bathroom longer. I just had all of this anxiety around my stomach going out, what I ate, and it was super intrusive. It was painful, it was grueling. So this is why I really got invested in figuring out what was going on and then making connections to my food. As I started to make nutritional changes, I really noticed these connections together with my food. I also noticed a lot related to sleep. So, if I'm having poor sleep days, how that connected to my gut. It seems like my gut becomes a lot more sensitive when I don't get proper sleep. And then also the connection with stress. So, if I have those combinations of poor sleep and stressful days, I really notice the impact overall on my gut. So, no matter what I necessarily eat, which was very confusing when keeping a food diary, I'd still have some stomach reactions. So a lot of things were happening, and obviously my digestion was not good and it wasn't being addressed. I always felt that I had to just go to the GI doctor where I could have been sharing all this information with all the providers along the way because I was really taking in a lot of Pepto Bismol. I was getting those tablets and chewing them constantly, as if it was like breath mints, like constantly in that I had a lot of issues with my stomach. I also want to say that I have lost friends from colon cancer, especially our men out there. Please, please don't ignore these digestive symptoms if you are going through it. And I lost friends in their early 40s. So please definitely do pay attention to digestive symptoms. Do not dismiss them because there's a lot of stuff involved with this, and getting your checkups with your GI professional is super important. So that's why I kind of have a soapbox with this, because I think there's a lot of things that we can miss if we keep ignoring all of these symptoms and then also being involved with the gallbladder groups. I was really surprised how many people are suffering from a lot of the gallbladder attacks, from a lot of the gallbladder symptoms, because we aren't doing preventative measures and we're not creating awareness on what these things should feel like after eating, and to notice these digestive changes with the food that we're eating and creating awareness around it with anything that you feel comfortable with documenting, so that you know, like if you're having a lot of trouble digesting fats, you have these fatty meals and you get that side pain, it's really something to recognize. So this is why I get in such a deep dive about digestive health. And I'm also mentored by Dr. Terry Walls. She's an incredible influence in learning, and she really broke down the stigma for me with tracking poop. So Dr. Terry Walls encourages all her patients to track their bowel movements. And the cool thing she doesn't make it complicated. So are you pooping rocks, snakes, or tea? And she encourages you to take a quick peek. She has it in all her presentations. I thought that this was awesome that she really opened up about it. And I love learning the microbiome. I love learning more about the microbiome from all of her teachings and the classes, because she recognizes that there is an immediate and direct link between our gut health and our mental health, immune system, skin conditions, cancers, and many other chronic illness conditions. So even in her health tracking booklet, she has people tracking their bowel movements, which is so important. So she is a great resource for this. Now, when it comes to the Bristol stool chart, we talk about this, and I know sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So, this chart is designed to help doctors measure the time it takes for food to pass through your body and leave as waste. The shape and form of your poop may also point your doctor towards a diagnosis of digestive problems. And you document this, and like I said, to make it easy, you can be so detail oriented that you are looking at these various types from the Bristol stool chart, or you can go with Dr. Terry Walls when she says, are you pooping rocks, snakes, or tea? So you really want this sausage-like bowel movement. And so type 3 and 4 is naturally, you want everything to be smooth. You don't want to be pushing. So if you are heavily constipated, that's an indicator of things happening. So you'll be constipated, you might need more fiber, or the medications can create a lot of heavy duty constipation as well. It's just something to relay to your doctor. The Bristol stool chart is also known as the Bristol stool scale. And it's just an easier way to talk to your doctors about what they call stools. It's also known as the Myers scale. Dr. Ken Heaton from the University of Bristol developed the chart in 1997 with the help of 66 volunteers. What's interesting is they changed their diet, swallowed special marker pellets, and kept a diary about their bowel movements. So they kept a diary on the weight, shape, and how often they went. Now, the ideal stool is generally type 3 or 4 because it's easy to pass. If yours is type 1 or 2, you're probably constipated as indicated from the chart. And then type 5, 6, and 7 tend towards diarrhea. So this is where you might be getting more inflammation, bacteria, or sometimes as you start to make nutritional changes, when you start eating a lot more fiber, you might see that it's more like a tea-like substance as you absorb fiber. But this is where you notice different changes. And again, even in my journey, I had to figure this out, especially with raw food. And I had a lot of severe digestion. So I had to back away from some of the raw food and look towards more blended food at first and steamed food at first. So this is how I got more of my vegetables in. But it's something obviously to take a note with, and even notice, like I said, with connections to stress. Are you the type of person that you're going to present and you get really stressed out and then you be running to the bathroom, or do you get super constipated? You can kind of notice these changes, even monthly cycles. If you are managing a lot with endometriosis, PCOS, or have a lot of PMS cycles, severity is to notice how this is affecting your bowel movements, because there is a connection and you definitely want to take note of that as you move forward. Okay, so in the documentation, you'll always hear me ask people, even in my health coaching groups, and some people turn red with embarrassment, but are you pooping rocks, snakes, or tea? Really simple. Go through your daily chart with this. If you don't like tracking your food in detail with food diaries, that's okay. But consider actually tracking your bowel movements, because you want a regular bowel movement. You want to know and be able to detoxify, get rid of anything that shouldn't be in your gut systems, get rid of it. So are you pooping rocks, snakes, or tea? Just a quick documentation. In full disclosure, I have a whiteboard in the bathroom on the bathroom door. So I really dialed in. I got really nerdy with tracking because I wanted my gut health to improve. It was super intrusive. It was embarrassing. I had to figure this out. So you can join me, and I will give more tips moving forward, but please share in the comments. And also in the replay, if you have noticed any of these things. And frequency of and color is important. So how frequently are you going and having a bowel movement? And with color, this can link into different health issues as well, especially if you're having gallbladder issues and the lighter colors. And when you want it to be in any of those brown consistent colors. And again, it's like, ew, I learned so much from certain people, though. It's quite fascinating what you can learn from some of the advocates in the space. Now, talk to your providers. Again, you don't have to wait for a GI specialist to share this information. Please do share with your primary care physician if you're struggling, and just anything that you're noticing with changes, especially with medications. Medications can create a lot of gut issues. And so you want to relay that forward. If there's anything's off, blood in your stool, anything like that, please relay to your providers. And it can be a functional medicine, naturopathic provider, DO. All of those providers will listen to you, and I guarantee that they will appreciate that you are tracking your bowel movements. I do want to give a shout out to the Queen of Thrones. So she has definitely given a lot of information. She spoke at Dr. Terry Walls' conference and gave even more information on bowel movements and gut health. But I love this, like, own your throne. When you are able to freely bring the full expression of yourself to the world, owning your throne not only means that you're confident and control of your bowels, but that you are able to live your life to the fullest because you have the freedom of good health. So I love this gut health information from her. So this is Dr. Marisol, Queen of Thrones. And she really, if you look through this information she gives on social media, she talks about making sure your bowels sync sink to the bottom of the toilet bowl, being sausage like a solid shape, not leaving a horrible smell, which she got into. Like different smells can change other people's microbiome if they happen to step into the bathroom after you. And then ideally cleaning yourself in one wipe. She addressed this too. She asked this question of people, and she even has an online quiz. Are you a hyper wiper? So this is something to notice as well. And then the color should be any shade of brown, but you definitely need to tell your provider if it is white, red, or black, even yellowing in the bowel, in the stools as well. So each day you should eliminate a stool that is the length of your elbow to your wrist. This can be one long stool or 2 to 4 smaller ones, but ideally this is the ideal unique length for your body. So go check her out. She does have information on castor oil packs. I use this information as well, and I continue to use castor oil packs. So if you need some more information on that, she is a great resource online with different videos and websites and blogs. So, did I get you excited? Did I get you excited yet? Are you ready to get tracking, poop tracking? Of course, you can ask me any additional questions you may have. I wanted to make this simple as we go into more gut health. We'll have more videos on gut health. We do have a new section of the Support Fibro website. It is supportfibromyalgia.org/nutrition. We're going to be putting a lot more information in here. I love talking about gut health and its connection to the brain. Oh, look at this. Lupus Spoons is already dialing it in. She has a calendar. So it says, if I say poop or not, so many meds, yes. So many medications cause a lot of constipation or other issues, and you'll notice it right away. And even just different, like I said, notice different foods, especially different proteins and things like that. If you get really bloated and gassy with even protein substitutes, I hear this a lot with protein shakes. Also, the sugar alcohols in products. If you're going to keto and they buy these products, you'll notice this digestive bloating or digestive running to the bathroom. You get disaster pants, as they call it. So notice all of these changes with how it connects even to our food. And that's a big part of creating awareness. Thank you so much, Lupus Spoons, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I know it's a little bit early for some of us in the morning to be thinking about our bowel health. But, if you're headed to the bathroom right now, just do a quick peek in the toilet, notice, and then just start getting used to it. Start getting used to making these observations. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. I'll be catching up with you later in the week. If you are interested in contributing to the website in a blog or audio form, please reach out. We need different topics in functional medicine pillars, especially people that are gurus when it comes to mindfulness, meditation. We'll be adding a lot more information. Lupus Spoon says eating veggies. Yes, getting that fiber in really helps with the constipation. And Lupus Spoons, I need to add all of your information for your support groups on the website. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I really appreciate you. And I'll be back with more information soon. Thanks. Bye.